Yo, what's up, guys? It's the MMA Analyst here to give you my recap for UFC on FX Maynard versus Guida. Alright, so let's get a few things straight. Because there was back-to-back nights and there was something that happened tonight, something that happened tomorrow, I was just going to do one recap for all of it and just kind of jumble it all together and put it up Sunday morning. And then Clay Guida's bum ass went out there and put on that whack ass performance. So I'm going to talk about basically all that right now, because whack ass punk fools like Clay Guida are ruining mixed martial, ruining it, absolutely ruining it. And then you have, by the way, the video is officially started. Then you have people who think Clay Guida should have won. I got somebody on Facebook right now. He's trying to send me messages. That was the biggest robbery in MMA history. Look, Clay Guida sucks. All right, I've been saying this for a long time, but I at least gave him credit because he wanted to fight. He at least brought a fight. And you know what happened tonight? Thank God he lost, because then you'd have monkeys trying to chase him. So, follow what he does. Oh, Clay Guida did it, so now I'm going to try and do it. Even though most people can't do it because they actually have, no cardio. And Clay Guida is a beast like that. So let's get it out of the way. I already said before, Clay Guida, cardio, training wise, he's a monster. There's not many people who can do what he does. When I mean that, I'm saying he runs like a little hoe for 25 minutes and he's got energy for another 55 minutes. So if they brought back mixed martial arts that lasted, as long as until the fighter, he would win, because the other dudes would tap from exhaustion every single time. But anyways, back to this. You've got Clay whack-ass Guida running around for the entire fight. Now, I don't care if he throws punches in between running. I don't care what he does. He's not there to fight. Dan Miragliotta, all right, look, here's the situation. Thank you for warning him in the 5th round, but you should have had flashbacks back when my boy Anderson Silva was dancing. At least he was dancing. Anyways, and his opponent was flopping, but that's beside the point. You had a dude try to hide behind you in the 3rd round, wherever that was, Damian Maia, was that Australia or Abu Dhabi? Anyways, and you were like, yo, don't hide behind me. You needed to tell this bum to stop. And y'all can get mad at me all you want. Yo, could you fight Clay Guida? No, I couldn't. Okay, I couldn't fight Clay Guida because he weighs 155 pounds and he will run. And that's all I got to say about that. All right, anyway, so, anybody wants to get upset with me, whatever. I don't care. It ain't got nothing to do with you or me. It's got to do with Clay Guida and bum-ass dudes like him who are ruining the sport of MMA. Anyways, and I say sport very loosely. Anyways, and it happens to be my favorite sport. Anyways, he should have been knocked off a point in the 3rd round. He should have been knocked off a point in the 2nd round. He should have been disqualified by the 5th round. He should have been forced to fight. Forced. Because all he was doing was literally all that bouncing up. I saw the first time he did that garbage was against Takanori Gomi, because he's afraid. He was afraid for his life of getting hit by Takanori Gomi. But, Gomi's been washed up for like 5 years. He came to the UFC already washed up. So Clay Guida, he hit him and he submitted him. Good job, Clay. Against Nate Diaz, you want to go out there and lay on people. Lay and pray. I'm not going to say, lay and pray is the worst thing in the world, because it's not. It's what Clay Guida did here. But when he has to lay and pray, you better believe he will lay and pray. And he's been getting a free pass by all these little Clay Guida nut huggers who are like, oh man, Clay Guida is so exciting. I don't know if it's because he looks like Cro-Magnon man, caveman. I don't know if it's because he got long, hair that's all in his eyes, or if it's just because he doesn't look barely human. I don't know if it's because of all that. But at the end of the day, he had a lot of fans who thought Clay Guida was, just so exciting, and I love Clay Guida and all that other garbage. I got to move my mic. It was on an angle the whole time. I didn't even set up properly. All right, so there you go. He had a lot of fans who were just like, man, Clay Guida, he's just so exciting. Fight of the night, this, fight of the... No. Clay Guida's always that same dude. He brings a high pace, and people excuse that high pace, or they confuse that high pace with actual excitement. But what he really does is, if it's somebody that he doesn't want to get hit by, that he can take down, he'll take him down. And then he'll lay on him. And he'll move around. And he'll throw ineffective punches like double hammer, monkey fist. Like, all this stupid stuff that is only acceptable in 1994 MMA. Or if you're doing it when you're about to finish somebody and you do it just because you want to be exciting when you're finishing somebody. But for you to be doing all that little hammer fist, fake little pitter-patter shots inside the guard, double hammer fist, slapping the ears, all type of dumb, ineffective stuff, that's just to look like you're doing something to try and get points. Now, what happened? Finally, we got a guy. Let's see what this guy's saying. He didn't run. He was quicker. Shut up. Anyways, finally, you got a guy who, Gray Maynard, is a better wrestler. Gray Maynard has knockout power. Gray Maynard can submit Clay Guida. So Clay Guida doesn't have the privilege in this fight. He doesn't have the abilities to do what he did to old school Nate Diaz, which I'll just take him down. Then I won't get punched. And then while I'm in his guard, I'll just try and make sure I don't overcommit so I don't get submitted. No. So against Gray Maynard, his game plan, and that's why what he did in this fight was 20 times worse than what Caleb Starnes did. His game plan, what he trained for, was to do this gay ass, whatever you want to call it, running around. This is worse than anything anybody's done when it comes to inactivity, because you look at Anderson Silva's worst situations, what he was crucified for, even though the dude finished like all but 3 of his opponents. And even though he's the greatest fighter of all time in MMA, people still be like, oh man, he's shut up. All right, then you have Caleb Starnes, who he at least says I was injured. He said I went into the fight, something happened, broke my ankle or twisted something, I don't know. So I'm going to run around and avoid just getting my ass whooped, because I'm not just going to quit. So I'm at least going to try and get out of here with my brain intact. Okay, cool. You didn't plan for that. This guy went over to Greg Jackson camp, and they all running up and down the hills and wherever, I forget, I don't know, Arizona, whatever, Albuquerque, New Mexico, running around, getting his cardio up so that he can avoid punches, takedowns, confrontation, fights, getting hit. I don't have any problem with people getting hit, with not wanting to get hit. Stay in the pocket. You got Floyd Mayweather Jr. He'll stay in the pocket, bound up, down, side, all over the place. There are so many ways not to get hit. But Clay Guida is so whack at everything except for running that in this fight, where he doesn't have the advantage anywhere, he said, you know what? I got a game plan. Let's figure it out. How can we just maybe frustrate Gray Maynard and everybody else? So they come up with this whack-ass plan for him to come out here and not fight. I don't want to hear that he fought. He didn't fight. Throwing punches doesn't mean you're fighting. Throwing punches means you're throwing a punch. But fighting is like you actually fight. Like, do you think anything Clay Guida was doing was with the intention of hurting Gray Maynard? He can't, a few times he did hit him, and a few times he did get stung, but at that point, Gray Maynard was just like, what do you want from me? He's walking at him with his hands down, just getting frustrated. And then Clay Guida's shameless ass running around with his hands at the end trying to hug Gray Maynard. Man, I wish to God that, what's his name? Paul Daly. I wish he would have just came out of nowhere and just clocked Clay Guida. He lost anyways, but even still, you're not coming back in the UFC anyways, so you should have been in his corner and just they would have charged you with assault or something like that. But just take it, you know what I mean? Because Clay Guida needed to get beat up. Anyways, so now you got Clay Guida in the 5th round. Whatever, man. Horrible. Don't tell me. I'm not even going to respond. So you can talk to the other people who watched the video, and y'all can argue and bicker back and forth in the comment box or whatever. I'm not responding. You can't tell me that Clay Guida, what do you want him to do? Get into a brawl? No, I just want him to not be a little hoe. And that's what he was. Man, what was that? Nick Diaz versus Carlos Condit? Woo, that was a beautiful fight compared to this garbage. compared to this, that at least made sense in some fashion. Somehow I can now look back and say, well, at least that wasn't this. Clay Guida, you know what, dog? Just like, I don't know, man. Just, what I mean? Like, in my head, I'm not going to say it out loud, but in my head, I say kill yourself. But out loud, I'm not going to say that. Out loud, I'm just going to keep it on, try and keep it on some kind of rant level and just not go to that point. But in my head, I just say, you know what I mean? Go jump off a bridge or something, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. But I would not say that out loud, all right? So, you know what I really wish would happen? I wish that he would get hit with 3 or 4 Mike Russell hammer fists, and that might teach him a lesson right there. So, there you go. Anyways, so now that we got that whack-ass bum out of the way, 11 minutes in, congrats to Sam Stout. Good fight. Spencer Fisher probably going to retire. Congratulations on a nice career in mixed martial arts. TJ Wahlberger, the rest is, I ain't going to talk for an hour about this. So, Brian Ebersol, solid win over TJ Wahlberger. It was close. I picked Wahlberger, and that first round it looked close. And it looked like it came all down to the third round. Wahlberger was a little too content being on his back. He should have realized, he wasn't going to submit him. So try and keep it on the feet at that point. Even though Ebersol is better on the feet, or at least try and get in a better position on the ground. But anyways, good work, Brian Ebersol. Cub Swanson, Ross Pearson. How are you going to just walk into 8 punches? Just walk forward with your arms out zombie style. Congratulations, Cub Swanson. Yeah, I mean, you have the ability to knock people out, especially if they walk at you. Just walk at you with the jaw wide open. Just hit me in the face. So, very good job. It was a tough fight. You got the win. Hatsu Hiyoki. I don't even know what's wrong with this dude. I'm glad. I mean, hindsight, I thought, put Hiyoki on the main card. He's number 2. I don't know what's wrong with this dude. I don't know why he doesn't know how to fight when he does know how to fight. I don't know. I don't know why he just putting himself in 18 guillotine chokes. At the end of the fight, he's so tired. He's just laying on dude, top position, just getting punched in the ribs. I don't know what's wrong with this guy, but he's about to go. Let's say, I don't know who has like the most potential and just never made it happen. Maybe like Kevin Randleman status. He's about to just go Kevin Randleman status. Like, if he can't pull it together, it's just, it's a damn shame. So, whatever. Ramsey in the Jam, congratulations. Rick Story, really, Rick? All the way to do a decision with Brock Jardine? All right, but, you got the win. It's okay. It's okay. Steven Seiler, thank you, man. Thank you for delivering, some exciting, something, a young fighter who's making progress as a fighter and showing a killer instinct and some solid all-around mixed. Thank you, Steven Seiler. A few fights ago, I think I was probably dogging you, but right now, I just want to say thank you because you are one of the very few bright, shining lights on this card. Chris Camozzi, wow. Damn, really a cut, a one knee, and dude was like a beautiful performance, Chris Camozzi. My God. Oh, man. That dude is terrible. He did land the knee, and he did get the win. Congratulations. Did Nick Catone did he say he couldn't see out of his eye or something? Was the cut that bad? I didn't get to really see if it was that bad. I went and grabbed something, and I was talking to my boy, and he was like, oh my God, it's over. I said, what? And by the time I got back, I never even got to see if, what happened, but I'll be damned if, you're in the third round going to win that fight and you get one knee and it's over. But it is. Matt Brown, you did your thing. It's crazy that Matt Brown has 13 fights in the UFC. Crazy considering all the other fighters who are probably so much more deserving of having 13 fights in the UFC. But he's always ready to fight, and he's always fighting. And props to him for being able to have 13 fights in the UFC. I don't get it, but congratulations, you won this fight. You needed to, and you did. And I think you're 3-0 in 2012. So, real talk, great job. Dan Miller, good win. Ken Stone, it was a close fight. Good job. Clay Guida, you're a bum. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I've never even had a rant like this before. I've never called a fighter a bum like this. But I feel like, I can say that right now with 100% conviction and feel like tomorrow or a year from now, I will not regret it. So, Clay Guida, you are officially on Oklahoma. I don't even know their whole name. Team Oklahoma, whoever they are. You on their status right now because they gave LeBron James his first. They just handed it over to him. At first, they lost. This is a bad week, folks. First, they just went and eliminated the Spurs, which would have not allowed LeBron James to get that ring. Then they went up and with the chokiest of chokesters of all time and just said every single fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, here, take it. Take the game, take the game, take the game, all the way to the finals. Then you got these bums crying in the back. But at least when they lose, they got millions of dollars, mansions, and all types of whatever they want. When fighters lose, they lose, and that's that. So anyways, I'll say it again with conviction. Number one, Clay Guida is whack. And what we saw today was a culmination of a lot of whackness in what's happening in MMA. And I'm just happy. All I can say is I'm really happy that Clay Guida didn't get that win. Because if he would have got that win, then it would have been even worse. Because then you just had people I can't run like Clay Guida can, but I know I can just do nothing and win a fight. I can literally go in there. I don't care if he outstruck Gray Maynard. I don't care if Gray Maynard never threw one punch. I don't care. I don't care if the strike stats show that Clay Guida outstruck him 10-1. Clay Guida's running around, turning his back and running. And I said this again about the Nick Diaz thing, but no, this was really running. Like he's trying to go play for Portugal or something, against Germany or whatever. Look, video over. 18 minutes long of me just being frustrated as hell with what's happening in general with these athletes in my favorite sport, which is mixed martial arts. Good God, please, UFC 147 Brazilians, please deliver tomorrow with some solid, what I expect from the Brazilians. Please. And then UFC 148. Oh my God. Is that please Anderson Silva knock him out? That's all I got to say for these next two events. Brazil is probably going to hold up to their end of the bargain because there's some exciting ass people in general. And Anderson Silva is probably going to knock out Chael Sonnen. I just need those two things to happen. MMA, it's important. Peace.